Obviously I'm very excited about Cheltenham's Half Marathon coming up. First half is very flat, isn't it? The second half, it's hilly, and everyone talks about the race course being really tough, and it is. It's barren and there's a lot more hills in there, so it is a real challenge. Okay, and that's why I want to set up some squads. I want you guys to be able to follow my instruction. Some people will be doing their second or third or fourth half marathon. Obviously the plan is to beat their previous best, and that's great. I'm really confident that with a good plan that we can get you to do that. There are lots of plans out there to help you finish a half marathon, but I think mine can be a lot more personal, okay, and especially given that most plans don't come with any sort of support. There's no one to ask questions, there's no one to change the plan if you go on holiday, or if you do get some kind of niggle which interrupts, maybe you can't get one of your most important runs in. Okay, with the plans that I'll be able to provide, we can adapt them, okay, to basically cater for any issue. If you get sent away on work for 3 weeks to the Middle East and you're not going to be able to run at all, then we can still make it work. We've still got 13 weeks, well, from this weekend coming, okay, so it's still a fair old way away, but there's also a lot of work to be done for some people. It is a big opportunity, okay. The Cheltenham Half, I think it is a great race, and I really love the option to be able to run through Cheltenham's streets without having to worry about cars. You just don't really run up through Montpellier on a standard run, and if you do, then there's a lot of traffic around. If everyone was to want to be part of this, I wouldn't have time to do a program for everyone. Unfortunately, it's just the way it is. Life's busy. We'll have basically that A squad will have a goals and planning consultation. Okay, so basically in that time we'll talk about a target time, and for most of you, if I've got some sort of result, a time trial result, then I'll be able to actually put it through a calculator and let you know what I expect you'll be able to do if you stick to your program. Okay, now you can do this online anywhere. They have race predictors, but the key thing is they don't know how much training you're going to do, so it's very hard for them to tell you accurately. My target time will be based on you doing the program. If the program doesn't go as planned, then we change that time, and on race day you actually do know what is an achievable time for you, and hopefully you beat it by a few seconds. The whole point for me of running races is to be able to have a sprint finish, okay, and you're only going to get a sprint finish if you pace the rest of the race well. Okay, it's very easy to get this one wrong because it's so flat in the first half. You think you're on target, or maybe you're ahead of your target and you think you're fine because you're breathing fine, but actually you've gone too fast and you're in a state that you shouldn't be in leading up to the hills. There'll be a report basically with your ideal week. So this will come out of that goals and planning consultation, where we'll basically have what's your ideal week. Okay, so obviously we've got a couple of club runs. Hopefully you can do those. If you can't, then we'll decide on another time of the week to do one of your runs. Obviously we want to have a long run. We need to decide whether you're going to do that on a Saturday or a Sunday, or you need to have a completely different plan. We've got our strength for runners trainings on Wednesdays. If you are in this A squad, then you can attend that each Wednesday night. If you can't attend that, when are you going to do your strength work? Okay, in the squad you'll have a strength program to follow to prevent injuries and to help you run faster when you're training and in your event. And the more strength training you do, the faster we can make that target time. All right. There'll be a distance progression chart as well, so that's basically, it's like a spreadsheet, but it'll say, right, this weekend you're doing this long run, this weekend you're doing this long run, and these are the distances that you're going to hit. Okay, there's no speeds in that. It's a very basic thing that you can stick on your fridge just to remind you how far you're going on the day. But it is very important because you need to be able to see ahead of where you are that weekend, what's coming up, and that if you miss this particular run that you're supposed to be doing as part of this progressive plan, then there's a good chance that you're not going to be able to hit the next distance for the following long run. Okay, so it's important to have this available to you. Now, more specific, you'll have your own program. So this is available on my fitness application called GymCalc. That'll dictate your speeds that you'll run. Obviously, the distances will match up with your distance chart. But this is where a lot of people's programs don't work for them. Okay, you can download a free program online. It'll tell you what distance to do each weekend or each run, but it can't really tell you how fast to go because they don't know you. They don't know what you've done in the past. Whereas the speeds in your program as part of the squad will be based on your time trial result. Okay, so that's why I say this weekend, ideally, everyone that wants to take part should record a time trial result, get it to me, and we can put it in, basically make all of your runs based on that. So it doesn't mean you're going at time trial speed, but it'll be a percentage of time trial speed. It'll also be converted for the distance that you're going to run, because you're going to be running further than time trial distance, shorter than time trial distance. Okay, so it's a very scientific approach, and it works. It really does work. There's unlimited email and phone support. Okay, so any questions you have about your training, whether maybe you want to add in another event, maybe a 10k leading up to the half, maybe another half marathon that happens. People say, "Oh, maybe I could do this half marathon the weekend before," and you know, I'll look at your distance plan and we'll make a decision whether it's actually achievable to do that, or you know what you're going to have to, you know, whether you're going to have to target one of those events, or you know, are you happy just to do both of them, not as well as if you were just doing one of them. You know, decisions like that. So included in your program, your running program, there'll be a strength workout as well, and that'll progress just like your running program will. So you'll have hard weeks and easy weeks with the strength training if you stick to that. There will be, obviously I've mentioned the strength for runners trainings, okay, so they're on Wednesday nights. And also to help people with their strength training technique. Okay, so it's one thing for me to prescribe exercises. There are videos on this application, so you know you can look at the technique just to remind you what the exercise is, how it's done properly. But it's not the same as having someone to actually demonstrate the exercise for you, talk to you about it, make you do it, and provide feedback. Okay, so that's what I want to provide with these small group trainings. Okay, and this is quite a big deal. I mean, you know, we fitness coaches do have rates, and I'm not charging anything per session here. It's all just covered by this one fee. Okay, so you imagine, you know, I'll be putting a message up on our secret Facebook group, basically to say, hey, look, I want to teach you guys some strength exercises that'll be in your program. Who can make this time? Who can make this time? You know, what time suits you best? And we'll just go down to the gym and run through them, or come to a park and run through them. Obviously, they need to be based on what equipment you're going to have available, so I wouldn't give you a whole bunch of gym exercises with heavy weights if you don't have a gym membership. But you know, strength, it's totally underutilized. When I went to the talk at the Science Festival the other day, you know, one of the main presenters, you know, was asked the question, what things do you think would most help people run faster? His top replies were, people need to have a goal and to work towards that goal with a program, and then they also need to have a strength workout. You know, they need to be building their strength. These are the things that not enough people are doing, and it just improves, you know, your love of running. And that's, for me, that's the big thing, is to try and improve your guys' experience of running.